Now, when you say genesis, that means formation. So you have gluconeogenesis is the synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. Now, say for example, class, wala yung tayo, di kaon. Okay. Buwan na isweldo si mama o papa. So, fasting na lang. Huwag yun, bisag lugaw, namukot ng lugaw. Can we survive? Can we still survive? Now, our body is designed by our Creator to have this, to undergo gluconeogenesis. In other words, kung wala kay carbohydrates available, wala kay glucose available, remember, the brain takes the lion's share. Other non-carbohydrate sources can be used as energy. So, pwede ito, imuhang, glycerol. Pwede po imong fatty acid magamit. Pwede po ang imong amino acid magamit. Okay? So, that is gluconeogenesis. There is formation of glucose out of non-carbohydrate sources. So, usually, they are from pyruvate, citric acid cycle intermediates, and glucogenic amino acids. No? Okay. So, there are 3 irreversible steps, however, in glycolysis. Meaning, hindi mo ma-reverse. Ano ang peptopyruvate. Hindi mo na siya. Then, fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-biphosphate. Ano man? Naka-release naman ang isa pang phosphate. No? Then, glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. Irreversible. These 3 steps are reversed in gluconeogenesis, but by different reactions and using different enzymes. So, kung kinahanglan ng galing sila i-reverse, no? Dapat lahi na nga enzymes. Lahi na siya ang reaction. So, using another enzyme. Okay, this is now the synthesis of your glucose. How glucose is synthesized. So, it may come from your citric acid intermediates or gikan sa imong lactic acid, no? Or gikan sa glucogenic amino acids. So, from here, pwede po siya oxaloacetate, malate, oxaloacetate, PET. Okay, different. Fructose 1,6-biphosphate. Okay, so on and so forth. Kung na kay glucose. This is what Jesus meant, that man shall not live by bread alone. Get it? Yes. Because the cell can still avail energy without eating bread, without eating rice. So there is gluconeogenesis. When Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, he did not use any more carbohydrates, and yet there is still production of carbohydrates.
Di ba, mag-get yung mga amino acids, proteins, kung all of yung research mo, nutrients mo, sa mga muscle research, sa mga muscle.
Yes. We have huge storage of, say, fatty acids and amino acids. And especially, proteins are the most abundant organic compound in our body. Are you with me? Kasi kung mahurot ng fatty acids sa imong liver, sa imong muscle cells, napakay amino acids. Napay amino acids. As long as there is air, as long as there is water, then you can still survive. Okay? When tribulations come, class, we just hope that we could receive the latter rain before tribulations come. Now, we will just pray that God will outpour to us His Holy Spirit and we could receive the Holy Spirit para maka-face the tribulation. Na kung dili na ta paliton, kung dili ta mo worship sa ilang God, then we can still survive. Knowing, ako remember ko, si Mamurada, buhay pagyamong kuhan basta na lang tubig o kuhan. Ay, tubig o hangin. So, can still survive. Tumulong ka tubig o inhale, simot o hangin. So, we can still survive. Okay. So, because Because God designs us to withstand even when tribulations come. Because we have a lot of reserve energy. Pero yung gutom na siya, pagkadugayan, wala na yung gutom. Yan naman, ang tanan nga reserve, ang yung mga reserve, maka-nord na ito, glucose.
Kapag mayo.
Ibang fats, di na po mga kung sobrang na po.
After nito, na. Emergency, na.
Kino ko po, survive ra, okay ra. Maka-survive ra. No?
Pero kung dili, kung pwede ka dili, ayun.
So, kayahay ng mga
Dugay magmiwang. Dugay pa magmiwang. Okay, glucose is converted to other hexoses. And to dye, oligo, and polysaccharides. Okay, the common step in all of this, kaning non-carbohydrate sources to glucose, ang common step nila is activation of glucose by UTP, or uridine triphosphate. Ganina, ang common sa breakdown of fatty acid is unsa activation of fatty acid to
from
unsa to? Activation of fatty acid.
So, acetate.
Ha?
acetyl-CoA.
End product acetate.
Okay, acetyl-CoA. Dili pa acetyl-CoA. Acyl-CoA. Oh.
End
So,
product.
which is an active form of fatty acid. To
So,
breakdown.
acetyl-CoA.
Ang breakdown. Kani, ang common nila, synthesis sa glucose is kani, UTP. Uridine triphosphate. To form,
UDP.
okay, kani siya. Uridine diphosphate glucose or UDP glucose. Para for muna yung common steps sa tanan synthesis. In all of these synthesis, kaning converted to, kay tanan na synthesis is activated by uridine triphosphate. No? So, ang hydrolysis aning uridine triphosphate piling pagtanggal sa isa ka phosphate ana, katong energy mo start sa reaction. Sa first step. So, mayroon siya uridine diphosphate. So, gluconeogenesis. So, ang glucose 1-phosphate plus UTP, may muna tayo this. So, you have there. So, this is the biosynthesis of other dye, oligo, and polysaccharides. So, they use this common activation step to form appropriate UDP derivative. So, kung ang glucose i-build up into dye, or i-build up into poly, or i-build up into oligosaccharide, then ang common step is activation by uridine triphosphate or UTP, hydrolysis of UTP. Okay? So, we have here ang lactate to pyruvate to glucose. So, kanang lactic acid, katong sa inyong pamaon. When oxygen is available or sufficient, it will be converted back into pyruvate. So, Krebs cycle, or say pyruvate to glucose. Okay? Gluconeogenesis. Okay? While degradation of fatty acids takes place in mitochondria, the majority of fatty acid synthesis takes place in the cytosol. Remember, ang breakdown sa fatty acid is in mitochondria. Now, but the synthesis usually is in the cytosol. Mag-form na gani of fatty acid is in the cytosol. Ang breakdown, mitochondria. So, two pathways have in common that they both involve acetyl-CoA, the end product of its spiral beta oxidation. Fatty acids are synthesized to carbon atoms at a time. So, these are mga common pathways. for the degradation and the synthesis of fatty acid. Kani, they have common for the synthesis and the breakdown of fatty acids. Ang end product, acetyl-CoA. Dayon, kani siya, fatty acid synthesized sa 2 carbon atoms at a time. Then, acetyl group of acetyl-CoA. Sources of these 2 carbons is the acetyl group of acetyl-CoA. Key to fatty acid synthesis is multi-enzyme called acyl carrier protein or ACPSH. Kuni ang multi-enzyme complex for the synthesis of fatty acid. You take note of this. Acyl carrier protein for the formation of fatty acid. ACP or acyl carrier protein is a side chain that carries the growing fatty acid. Para mag-build up of fatty acid, kailangan siya of ACP. So this is one fatty acid chain, another fatty acid chain, hangtod nga malibutan siya. So, acyl carrier protein. Step 1 for fatty acid biosynthesis. So it starts with the priming of the acetyl-CoA. Priming of acetyl-CoA to acetyl ACP. So now giving acyl carrier protein, ACP. Acetyl-CoA to acetyl synthase. So na siya HS-CoA. Kuning common sa tanan nga steps. Then ACP malonyl transferase. Then so malonyl-CoA to acetyl synthase, malonyl-CoA ACP to aceto-acetyl ACP. So that's in step 3, condensation, transferase reaction, condensation, so on and so forth. Reduction, aceto-acetyl ACP to beta-hydroxybutyryl ACP. Then to protonyl ACP. Na always ACP. Take note, ha? Second reduction, butyryl ACP. So this is in the synthesis of fatty acid. Okay. So butyryl ACP, 1 to 6 reduction, hexanol ACP. Then pag-abot ani, chains up to 16 are obtained by the sequence of reactions. So hangtod nga maabot siya sa carbon sa chain 16, carbon 16. Kung balik-balik na siya ni. Hangtod nga nalibutan na siya og fatty acid chain ng ACP.
Or siya, breakdown sa
katong breakdown sa fatty acid kay kuan.
Ito acetyl po nung ba?
Na po siya common.
Kani synthesis na siya.
Kani synthesis ni siya sa fatty acid. So balik-balik na siya. Katong breakdown sa fatty acid up to 5 steps lang. Pag abot niya sa acetyl-CoA, ang katong ang isa ka, diba, nag-cleave man to. Ang isa, bumalik na po dito sa step 1. Antod maabot dito sa last na carbon. Kani, antod maka-form siya sa last carbon, magbalik-balik na po na siya ng step. So, higher fatty acid, light stearic acid are obtained by addition, okay, so on and so forth.
Membrane lipid.
Okay, membrane lipids, mga cholesterol. Acetyl-CoA, mawag na po ni, synthesis of cholesterol. Acetyl-CoA gihapon. Activation. Okay. Cholesterol. Okay, I want you to read na. Kaya gikapoy na ko. Okay. The amino acids. For amino acids, it's okay. Glutamate is an intermediate product in the synthesis of different amino acids. No? pyruvate, glutamate, reversible. Pwede siya ma-convert into alanine or alanine to pyruvate or to glutamate or alpha-ketoglutarate. Asa ni? This is intermediate product sa Krebs cycle. Alanine, this is what? Amino acid. Glutamate, another amino acid. Pyruvate, breakdown of glucose in glycolysis. Okay? So these are mga different amino acids. So, kaning glutamate, proline, arginine, agi siya dito sa alpha-ketoglutarate na pathway.
Naman po na sa previous na discussion siya.
Oo. Kani siya, muagi siya ani oxaloacetate na pathway. Kani, ang valine muagi sa pyruvate na pathway. Kani muagi sa 3-phosphoglycerate. Asa man ni? Sa glycolysis. Kani, phosphoenol pyruvate.